Hey everyone, Michelle here, the Brave Homeschooling Mama. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am a special education teacher turned homeschool mom. I have 2 kids and I love to help new homeschooling parents by making videos about curriculum and day-to-day homeschool. Today, I want to share with you all the books that I'm going to be reading with my 9th grader for the 2020-2021 school year. So if you're interested in finding out what we're going to be reading, make sure you stay tuned. So for my daughter 9th grade year, I picked 9 books that I'm going to be reading with her. These are books that I'm going to be doing as read alouds. My daughter, she struggles a little bit with reading comprehension and she gets overwhelmed and frustrated when the books are long. So I try to read a lot of the books that, a lot of the novels I read to her, and while we're reading the stories, we pair the books with either an arrow or a boomerang guide. This year we kind of have half and half boomerangs, half arrows from Brave Writer that we're going to be pairing with the books. There's only one book that doesn't have an arrow guide, which is the first one that we're going to be reading at the beginning of the school year, but all of the other books, as we read them, we're going to go through either an arrow guide or a boomerang guide. So if you don't know what a boomerang guide or arrow guide is, I'm gonna put a link to a video so you can understand what an arrow guide is and how it can help your child work through a piece of literature. So when I pick books for my daughter, before I start, I try to pick books that I think they're going to be of interest to her. Books that maybe she can be able to relate to a character based on her age, based on on culture, or I try to something in history that I think might be interesting to her. We don't read a lot of the classics because I know my daughter is not going to enjoy it and she's going to be bored, and I don't want her to lose interest in the books that I'm reading to her. This is the time I still enjoy reading to my daughter. She's in 9th grade, and I probably continue through her high school years because of her learning disability. This works better for us, and it works better for her to be able to understand the story. So this is that's how I picked the books for her. So the first book I want to share, this is the one that we're going to read first. This one does not have an arrow or boomerang guide. This is called Mississippi Trial in 1955, and this is about the trial of Emmett Till. So it's a white boy, and his view of what was going on during that time when Emmett Till got lynched in the 1950s. We went to the African American History Museum last year, and my daughter, we learned about Emmett Till. It was the first time I heard about Emmett Till before, and she got very interested in his story. It made a big impact on her. They have his his coffin where they buried him. And there is a very, impactful story for her, impactful, part of history. So she got really interested. Was asking questions. They did a little bit of research, and so I decided this will be. I heard a blogger talk about this book, so and I'm reading it right now, and it looks, it's really good. So it's something that I know she will enjoy, and because she is a biracial child, and she enjoys learning and learning about that part of her culture. And so Mississippi Trial 1955 by Chris Crow. Okay. Next one I have Aisha Saeed, a novel Amal Unbound. And this one, it says, Amal's dream of becoming a teacher is dashed in an instant when she unwittingly insults a member of her Pakistani village ruling family and is forced to work at their estate. Navigating the rules of life as a servant gets even more complicated when the family matrix seems to make a favorite of Amal, causing friction and jealousy among her fellow servants. Okay, just a little bit of the back here, the little blurb. So this is Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed. This is about Pakistan, so you can see we have a variety, diverse books from different countries, different cultures. Next one is called, this is by Alan Gratz, and this is called Refugee. And this is a story of 3 children in different times and period. We have Joseph, he's a Jewish boy in the 1930s. And he's going to board a boat to be able to go to the other side of the world. He's going to become a refugee. Then we have Isabel from Cuba in 1994, and then Mahmoud is a Syrian boy in 2015. Okay, so these are all stories about refugees from different time periods and different countries. So I'm really excited about reading this one too. Next one we have Tim Tingle, How I Became a Ghost, a Kokshta, I hope I'm saying that wrong, Trail of Tears, the Trail of Tears story. We haven't studied that part of history yet, and so this will be a great way to work, to learn about the Trail of Tears through this book. And this one, I think this one is a boomerang guide. That's a boomerang guide. Okay. Next one I have is Sundress Cisneros, The House on Mango Street. I bought this book a while back and we were going to read it. It was on my list to read with her, but we never got to it. So I decided to bring it back this year. And I think now she's a little bit older, she might enjoy it. It's about this girl, Esperanza Cordero, and just her, growing up in a Latin, community in the United States, and just, a coming of age story and her family. I think I started reading this book, but I never finished it. But it's really good, and I think she'll enjoy it. And we're probably going to read this in October for Hispanic, Heritage Month. Then we have A Long Way Home, A Boy's Incredible Journey from India to Australia and Back Again by Saru Brierley. And so this book, if you ever watched the movie Lion is based on this book. It's about this boy, it's a memoir, it's a real story. He lives in a village in India, and he gets, he comes from a poor family. He gets, separated from his family. He gets into a train. He goes all the way to Calcutta. He's a little boy. He doesn't know how to read. He doesn't even know where he is, where his family is. And he just gets, separated, and he gets adopted through all this. And then, how he's going to go back to be able to try to find his family after 25 years. I saw the movie. It's a wonderful movie. So I can't wait to read the book and be able to watch the movie with my daughter. It's a wonderful story. Then I have Georgia K. They Call Us Enemy, and this one is a graphic novel. So I'm looking forward to my daughter, reading this. I probably have her read this one on her own. This is easier, for someone to read a graphic novel than read it to you, and then I'll read it also. But it's about the Japanese concentration camps in America during World War II. So this would be a good one. This one we have Stella by Starlight, which was a book that we had in our, list last year, and we never got to it. So we're going to try again this year, and this one is an arrow guide. And the other one, They Call Us Enemy, is also a Dance the Boomerang guide for the older children. So this one is about, during the time with the, Ku Klux Klan was in our, in more, prominent in the United States. And then this little girl, she feels like she hasn't been, bothered by that too much, but she sees something that she wasn't supposed to see, and then what's going to happen. So this is Stella by Starlight by Sharon M. Draper. Last one here I have is Pax, and this one is by Sarah Penny Packer, and this one is about a boy who becomes friends with a fox, and then his dad is calling to war, and he needs to give his fox back. This is just a quick, it's more than that, but this looks like a good one. My daughter loves animals, so I thought a book that has an animal in it is always good. I try to do at least one a year that has animals in it. So Pax by Sarah Penny Packer. So these are the books that I'm going to be reading with my 9th grader. I'm excited to be able to read this diverse books that I picked for her. You can see we have different time periods, different countries, just a variety of things and types of characters. So I'm excited to read. This is how I try to do my school year, be very, diverse in what we read, so we can get a global understanding and be able to have a variety of reading. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, make sure you post them below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you don't follow me on Facebook and Instagram, make sure you do so for more inspiration and motivation. I will see you soon. Bye.